In today's world, it can be easy to feel overwhelmed. Everywhere we look, there's pressure to be faster, be more efficient, and be more productive. With headlines like Elon Musk introducing 80-hour workweek and photos of employees sleeping on the floor, it's no surprise we feel the burning desire to be productive. Pushing ourselves to the point of exhaustion or even mental collapse is something that happens all too often in today's society. But what if we could slow down and find peace and balance in the midst of all this chaos? This video will explore 5 simple ways to go slow in an increasingly fast world. In understanding and embracing the power of working slow, you yourself can start to make meaningful progress towards achieving your goals and becoming the best version of yourself. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the importance of breathing. Now, I don't just mean your everyday, I need to breathe because I don't want to die type breathing, but sky breathing. In multiple studies at Yale and the University of Arizona, they found that this technique of breathing was the most beneficial to immediate stress relief, people's moods, and the long-term impacts of these effects. The studies went something like this. Before and after the participants went through the training, they were put in a high-pressure situation where they were faced with performance-based tasks, such as giving a speech to a group of people or presenting at a business meeting. The Sky group actually showed regulated levels of both heart rate and breathing. This meant that not only were they in a better emotional state, they were actually more competent and able to better deliver that presentation than all of the other groups involved in the study. When you're experiencing a strong emotion like anxiety or fear or stress, the part of our brain that deals with rational thinking, the prefrontal cortex, is not working. This can make it really difficult to regain control and have productive conversations with people. But by tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system, you're actually able to lower your blood pressure and your heart rate. Breathing techniques make it possible for you to regain control over your body and your mind, unlike anything that I've ever experienced before. I'm going to do a separate video on just the sky breathing methodology so that you can get a better idea of how to implement that for yourself. Savoring your experiences. In such a fast-paced world, it's easy to rush past things in your life without really experiencing them. We all know the feeling that you get when you experience something truly beautiful. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You start getting goosebumps all over your arms and your heart starts pounding. Whether it's witnessing a beautiful sunset, looking up at the millions of stars in the sky, or having a conversation with a loved one, the feeling of awe. In our daily lives, we often don't get the opportunity to experience it. There were times where I was surrounded by loved ones, and I was not even remotely present. I could have had experiences learning how family members defied all odds to be standing in front of me, or learning how my cousin is changing the world with theoretical physics. I didn't. But I realized that it wasn't too late for me, and it's definitely not too late for you to start building these experiences into your everyday life. A habit accessible to everyone that enables you to have these moments of awe is to get outside every morning. It's something that I've been doing for the past year. As soon as I get up, I come say hi to my partner, and then I put on a jacket and go outside. It doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's hailing, if it's snowing, if it's a tornado. Maybe a tornado, maybe not a tornado. But regardless of the weather, I go outside and I give thanks for the day. And I have the moment of awe, not every day, but I would say at least one time per week, where I'm just astounded by the beauty of being alive, of nature, of all the things around me. It's truly something that makes my day and honestly makes my whole week whenever it happens. Why not try slowing down for just a day and taking the time to savor those meaningful experiences, whether it's going to see a beautiful sunset or sharing a meal with a loved one or having a heartfelt conversation with a friend. These are all things that bring out these emotions in us, and I can't recommend enough for you to try this in your daily life. Disconnecting from the tech. In today's world, we are always connected to our phones, to our laptops, and to our TVs. But too much screen time can be exhausting and overwhelming. On average, I spend about 95% of my working time in front of a computer, and it's because I have to. When I was working remotely, my biggest fear was if somebody messages me, how am I going to respond if my eyes are glued to the screen 24/7? And now, when I work for myself, I need to organize all my thoughts and I want to have them in one central location, and a computer is the perfect thing for this. It was getting to the point where 12 or more hours every day would be spent sitting and staring. The quality of my sleep began deteriorating, my eyes were always dry, and the only time I really got up was to go to the washroom or to make something to eat. While I was being productive by societal standards, my quality of life was absolutely atrocious. I needed to become more intentional about making time to disconnect. A strategy that I employed is called a digital sunset. Basically, what it means is after a certain time of night, you don't look at screens any longer. I've read stories about families turning off the electricity for the entire house, which I think is a little bit crazy, but a version of this can work in your own life. This can help you unplug and connect with the things and the people that are the most important to you. Simplifying your schedule. In today's world, we often feel compelled to cram as much as we possibly can into a single day. As we touched on in the intro, busyness and hustle are often glorified in today's society. And while this is not inherently a bad thing, pushing yourself too hard to the point where your work is unsustainable can be detrimental to your long-term health and happiness. Think about your limits when you're creating your schedule. How many nights do you want to have to spend with your kids? How many nights do you want to yourself? Try determining what your ideal schedule looks like and what a realistic schedule looks like. Try and meet somewhere in the middle so that you're able to have a sustainable routine, as that's the most important thing for long-term sustained growth. Until you learn to say no effectively, your time is going to be taken up by other people's priorities instead of your own. Like everything, it gets easier to do the more that you do it. And while it may be difficult to say no to certain opportunities, that frees up your ability to say yes to the ones that matter most. This can help you feel less stressed and more balanced overall. Creating a relaxing environment. Our environment has a huge effect on our mood and our mindset. If our surroundings are cluttered and chaotic, our mind will often reflect this. On top of that, there are more people now than ever in hybrid or remote working environments, and this adds an additional layer of complexity to the mix. People are now trying to balance their professional lives and their personal lives operating in the same space. Luckily, there are a number of ways that you can introduce joy into your environment. Some of the best ways to do this are decluttering your space, adding plants, like you see here, and adding soothing elements, like this whale. Unfortunately, we don't have any whale songs hooked up, but that is something I'm going to be working on. Another thing that I've found very productive is actually having a light that I use on my desk only during working hours. When it comes on, I know that it's time to focus. And now this is something that's become ingrained in my brain, and whenever I need to get something done, I just turn on my light and I'm good to go. This separation can help you feel more at peace, more at ease. It may take some effort, but the benefits of finding this peace in your daily life and slowing down are so well worth it. So take a deep breath with me, and remember that sometimes it's okay to go slow. Hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.